This is crazy. This chapter is insane. It feels like the actual story of One Piece starts from today's chapter, chapter 1043. So until now, Oda used 1042 chapters as groundwork for the actual story. I'm not complaining, I'm rather happy about it. I mean, we got over 1,000 chapters extra, right? Now it all makes sense why the Gorosei want to eliminate Luffy as soon as possible, and why they gave the CP0 boss a suicide mission. It's about the legacy of Sun God Nika, or more specifically, Joy Boy. It's also tied to Fishman royal family and the tattoo on King Neptune's arms. Wano country and the kingdom of Alabasta are also related to it. I will explain it in the later part of this video. I'll also explain why Luffy's body or hair is melting. Previously, I was wondering why the 5 elders shifted their target from Nico Robin to Luffy. Aren't they worried Robin revealing the true history of the world? What's changed? Why now of all time? We know the Gorosei were busy to deal with the events of the reverie. They had a hard time covering up the unwanted and unforeseen event that happened during the reverie, and we saw how frustrated they looked when they were talking to themselves and talking about a certain devil fruit. Just before the reverie started, they met an unexpected guest, Shanks. It was obvious they had a serious conversation. Shanks was warning the Gorosei about a certain pirate, but I do not think they are gonna pay any attention to his warning. Well, not to the extent they should. After the Gorosei ended their conversation with Shanks, they went to see Imu-sama. When the Gorosei were talking about the defection of Kingdom of Alabasta 800 years ago, they revealed who was the pirate Shanks was referring. That person is from the D clan. Currently, there are only 2 pirates from the D clan sailing in the New World, Luffy and Blackbeard. So, who was Shanks talking about? Luffy or Blackbeard? Well, from Shanks' expression and emotion, we can easily figure it out. When Shanks talks about Luffy, he looks very enthusiastic and cheerful, and we saw it when Dracula Mihawk talked to Shanks about meeting Luffy. Even Rayleigh also mentioned how elated Shanks looked when he talked about Luffy. However, when Shanks was in front of the 5 elders and mentioning about that particular pirate, he looked very serious. He also looked serious when he mentioned about Blackbeard to Whitebeard. So, he was talking about Blackbeard, not Luffy. We've seen over and over again that the Samurai Gorosei has deep hatred and resentment towards the members of the D clan. When Luffy successfully escaped Marineford, the Samurai Gorosei vilified the members of the D clan, and he also showed this hatred after they talked to Shanks about a certain pirate. Before the reverie even started, Imu-sama took 2 bounty posters and wanted to check something. She came to a secret cryogenic chamber and compared Luffy's straw hat to a giant straw hat. When I saw that panel, I was very shocked, and I think so were you. The thing is, why would you keep something like a straw hat and protect it for centuries? Is it Imu has some kind of sick hobby? Or a trophy, perhaps? I mean, keeping the most treasured prize of your opponent. Anyways, after comparing, Imu confirmed her conjecture and then left for the room of authority. But before that, she came to the flower chamber, and there, she cut apart Luffy and Blackbeard's bounty posters and stabbed the sword right through Shirahoshi's picture. When I saw that panel, I got very scared. I became very concerned for Shirahoshi's safety. Flower and butterfly are very delicate. Imu was very gentle with the butterfly, but against the members of the D clan and Shirahoshi, she looked like a different person. We usually see females handle delicate things gently, and they love flowers. Often, they become jealous when they see another female who is prettier than them. Perhaps that's why she stabbed Shirahoshi's face. Imu acted just like that inside the room of flowers. So, I think Imu is a female, and that's why I addressed her as such. I'm not a misogynist, so please, don't feel offended. Anyways, when the Gorosei saw Imu, they showed their obedience. They looked so menacing when they promised Imu to extinguish anyone or anything that she hates. Now, there is a problem with my inference. If Imu hates Shirahoshi, why didn't the Gorosei, or CP0, didn't do anything to Shirahoshi? Why did they let her safely return to Fishman Island? It's a valid question. Previously, St. Charlos tried to kidnap Shirahoshi and made a mess. Then Don Quixote Miosguard came and rescued Shirahoshi. His assistants also helped the Fishman royal family to escape a disaster. You know, King Neptune almost attacked St. Charlos, a celestial dragon. If his punch really landed, the entire Fishman royal family would have been imprisoned or enslaved. We've already seen an example of it happening. Bartholomew Kuma was the king of Sorbet Kingdom. Just because he let the Straw Hats escape, the celestial dragons turned him into a slave. This is the consequence for defying the celestial dragons. No matter who you are, the outcome is the same, no mercy. Anyways, since 2 celestial dragons made a mess in Reverie, the world government lost some face there. If the witnesses were not the royals of the top allied kingdoms, they could have silenced them all. So if something were to happen to Shirahoshi, these royals would think that the celestial dragons were behind it. Now the question is, do the celestial dragons even care about the opinions of these royals? Of course not, but the world government does. Perhaps that's why the Gorosei didn't take any action against Shirahoshi. Moreover, they had to take care of Sabo and the commanders of the Revolutionary Army, so there were lots of things on their plate. When the Gorosei sorted out everything related to the reverie, they focused on the events happening in Wano country. The first command they gave to CP0 was to eliminate Nico Robin. According to them, she's living on a borrowed time. They want to execute her then and there. She is the key to reveal the true history of the world, and it would break world government's authority like House of Cards. They can't let that happen. That's why the Gorosei prioritized Nico Robin's life over Luffy's. However, everything changed after they received new updates from Wano. It's primarily connected to the legendary Devil Fruit and its potential awakening. They learned that Trafalgar Law and Captain Kidd defeated Big Mom. This is unprecedented. Even the world government hadn't been able to accomplish such feat. Even though Whitebeard died in Marineford War, it was Blackbeard and his crew who dealt the ultimate blow, and everyone on Sabaody Archipelago saw it live. Now, if Luffy manages to defeat Kaido, it'll not only increase his strength, it'll expand his influence and acceptance to the people, and that is the last thing the world government wants to see. Moreover, and most importantly, this order came directly from Imo-sama, and they would carry it out without any question asked. When Imo-sama compared Luffy's straw hat to Joy Boy's straw hat, she knew Joy Boy might appear once again, and Monkey D. Luffy might be the one. During his dying moment, Whitebeard said to former Fleet Admiral Sengoku, "The fire of the D clan is passed down generation to generation." He hinted that Luffy will inherit Goldie Roger's will and someone else will inherit Ace's will. Although Roger inherited the fire of the D clan, he didn't receive the complete inheritance. He needed Gomu Gomu no Mi and corresponding willpower to receive the complete inheritance. Perhaps he instructed Shanks to find Gomu Gomu no Mi and eat it, or give it to his son, Ace, but it was Luffy who was destined to have it. When Who's Who fighting Jinbei, he talked about Sun God Nika. He wanted to know if the Sun Pirates have any relation to Nika. He also said, the history of Fishman is the history of slavery. When Who's Who failed to safeguard Gomu Gomu no Mi, the world government imprisoned him and impelled down. From one of the guards, he learned about the legend of Sun God Nika. Nika was a legendary warrior. The slaves in the ancient times revered him as the sun god. He was a friend to slaves. The legend says that Nika would one day come for the slaves and liberate them from the oppressors and bring smile to their faces. Queen Otohime, Shirahoshi's mother, had profound admiration for the sun. I guess it came from the legend of Sun God Nika. Moreover, the fishmen long for sun. They want to reside on the land and bathe in sun. We saw how emotional Shirahoshi was when she saw sun for the first time in her life. She wanted to live on the surface. When we look at Fishman Island, it looks nothing more than an aquarium. It's quite obvious that they are imprisoned in there. Fishman royal family has a legend. According to it, one day, a man will come to Fishman Island and destroy it. From the silhouette it looks like Luffy, but after reading today's chapter, we can be certain it's Luffy. The giants of Elbaf also have adoration for sun. They celebrate the death and rebirth of sun through Winter Solstice Festival. Luffy will go Elbaf next, so we would get more exposure on this topic there. Even though Jinbei looked angry when Who's Who talked about the history of fishman slavery, he said something interesting in previous arc, and it suggests that he has some knowledge on Sun God Nika as well. He said that the fishmen can only rely on Luffy for their emancipation. He does not believe that the world government or the Reverie Summit could solve their problem. It looks like Sun God Nika reincarnates in different ages. More than 8 centuries ago, he was reincarnated in the body of a giant or a giant-like human. We know that person as Joy Boy. Even though Joy Boy hosted Sun God Nika's soul or will, he couldn't fulfill his dream. However, Luffy is different. We can pronounce Luffy as laugh plus E. Laugh or laughter is a level higher than joy. So Luffy Boy would surpass Joy Boy. Joy Boy couldn't liberate the fishmen, nor did he eradicate the discrimination. As the next Joy Boy, Luffy would fulfill previous Joy Boy's dream. Now, if we take a look at King Neptune's tattoo, it has flame or fire, waning and waxing moon, and a shaft or pole connecting them. Perhaps the flames or fire, suggesting Kingdom of Alabasta, the waning and waxing moon might be hinting Wano country, and the shaft that joins them might be Joy Boy or Sun God Nika, or an ancient weapon. Leo calls Luffy as Luffy Lando, and he often uses Risu after a sentence. In Latin, Riza means smile. So, was the ancient kingdom's name Smile Land or Rizaland? Now, at the last panel of this chapter, we saw Luffy's body or head slowly melting. I think you already know what it means. Yes, Luffy is awakening his devil fruit. Kaido is going down. I'll make a separate video on Luffy's devil fruit awakening. Why do you think Luffy's body is melting? Don't forget to comment down below. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.